Hey guys, welcome to
All right,
a
we have
second set of the CSL match. Sorry about that, Psionic. We have Psionic dual casting. We have LD starting in the bottom left-hand corner for the University of Toronto as the yellow Terran in the bottom right-hand corner. We have Lynn, who is going to be, I think that's Lynn, starting as the teal protoss. And this is on right of the Valkyries, which is a pretty fun map altogether. I really enjoy it. I agree with Psy that I think it's a little unbalanced here and there, but I agree with Psy that it's a fun map altogether. And it looks like we're going to see Cheese right off the bat. Probe leaving the base immediately.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting in the beginning. I just wasn't sure what the pause was. I guess you were just refreshing the stream, so didn't mean to interrupt you, Diggity. So here comes the cheese. Going to be 2-gate all in from Lynn. And I don't know exactly how LD is going to be able to handle this. He should be able to scout it just in time. He's actually scouting already to make sure there's no proxy inside of his base. We'll see if that SCV goes out to check for any cheese outside of his ramp. If he walls off here, though, that would help him to easily defend against this zealot harassment that's going to be coming his way soon.
Oh, it looks like he's going to build that supply depot. That's the thing, is even with that wall here, the looks like the probe dancing around excitedly. If that probe can go up in the scout and deny that barracks from being planted as long as possible, this could still be a very, very successful cheese, even with just a single gate. Let's see if that is the case. The first gate was going to be placed momentarily. It all depends on the scouting from LD and also whether that probe can stop that blockade for a decent amount of time. But it looks like that SCV already in position already has that front door seal capped. So these zealots are going to have a lot of work cut out for them. They'll have the close location to work with, but otherwise they're going to have a lot of work cut out for them. Probe's still hanging out, just kind of doing a little jig out here.
You know, he really should be checking to see if the Terran is walling off, because if there is a wall, you can easily transition into a 10-15 Dragoon build. I mean, you're already hurting your economy going for these early Zealots. If you scout and see that he's already got the wall up, just transition into a really fast, into a Goon build, and that's what it looks like he's kind of doing. He's already got the assimilator going down, so it looks like that was his intent all along, was to do a 10, maybe not really 10-15, since he's cutting probes to get his gateways and things over there on time, but is going to go for that early Goon harassment build. And obviously Terran's not really scouting at all. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't sent an SCV out already to look for, to see what the Terran's up to. There he goes. He waits for the racks to finish before sending out the SCV. I personally, what I like to do is send out an SCV halfway through the racks being built to check for things like this, and then just bring up another SCV to finish the building.
Critically, though, he's seeing that there's not a second gateway being placed, and additionally, he should have a Marine out to deal with that Zealot in not too long. There's a cybernetics core actually being built at proxy location. So essentially, wow, Lynn is all in. He's got to do it here on the front door, and if he doesn't, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and he needs to keep... This is critical. You need to keep tabs on that SCV, because otherwise sometimes you can end up with a counter proxy, a factory in your base, things like that, but also with the pylon to the north.
I know all about that.
He knows all about that. Yeah, no comment. But it looks like that SCV just going to wander in, going to scout things off, see how things are going otherwise. But Lynn, with a kind of interesting build, maybe going to go for, let's see if it's a proxy robotics facility to do an elevator here to the north. He has the probe in position to do so, and the Zealot kind of holding in the back position, but also going to be producing Dragoons to the north. We already see a 2-factory build coming out from LD. So honestly, even if he does manage to get the elevator off, actually it looks like he's going to go for Dark Templar. This is going to be extremely delayed, and I don't know how successful this is going to be. It's going to come down really to vulture mines and their placement, and additionally how safe LD decides to play after this and how late he gets that engineering bay up. But yeah, he's going to end up losing a lot of his tech on the front door, might end up just getting completely run over altogether. And honestly, I think the big curiosity is, will Lynn have time to get those Dark Templar produced before that gateway goes down? Because if he can get a Dark Templar out before that gateway is finished, he's going to be in a pretty good position with that Dark Templar peeking right at his front door. But otherwise, if mines are planted right outside that gateway as those Dark Templar are popping, it could be absolutely disastrous.
Well, the machine shop is done. Units are being produced in the factories. A second machine shop going down. The Protoss might be able to sneak a peek at that machine shop. Oh, getting a little bit of lag in game here.
Gonna dump some guys. Commenting on the game here, it's surprising we see a second factory before tank, and additionally Yeah, it's a little bit greedy here, so this front door harassment actually might do more damage than it would have otherwise, but I think we're seeing a cut of troops altogether. Going to need SCVs off the line to do some repair. Definitely, and that could provide some critical timing and some space to specifically get the Dark Templars out in the mix here, so and basically slow down that, specifically mine upgrades, tank upgrades, etc., the 2-factory push. It looks like we do have the Templar Archives being built right now, more Dragoons supplementing on the front door, and this is going to be a really close match here. I think a lot of it, again, is going to come down to micromanagement, but I think with this attack on the front door, with those 3 SCVs off the line, we probably will see a Dark Templar before we ever see a Vulture, or basically any sort of detection to deal with it on the front, unless we're seeing an engineering bay right now, and I'm not seeing any indication from JD of an engineering bay at all.
Yeah, LD isn't even researching siege, not researching spider mines, just going for a pure marine tank build here. He looks like he's just going to want to counterattack with just a lot of marines, tanks. He'll probably pull a couple of SCVs when he moves out. Lin, if he really wants to hurt the Terran, should wait for the Terran to open that door, move out, start engaging his forces in the natural, and sneak that DT around into the SCV line and not use that DT to harass the tanks. He wants to sneak that into the mineral line, but no, he's going to choose to go ahead and engage. LD needs to get that door closed off here. Looks like he's going to hold around with the siege tanks to buy himself some time to get the door closed. And really, I think that was a mistake by Lin. He should have waited with attacking with that DT until it was already inside the mineral line. Then the game would have surely been his. But now with the door closed, it'll take him some time to break it down. Yeah, so now the SCV's coming off. They're going to be able to hold the ramp. That's going to give time for those spider mine upgrades to come, to get an engineering bay up. And then it's almost going to be, I'm not even going to say a gamer set. That actually might put Lin in a bad situation, because he's going to have all his tech out to the front door. He's investing a lot in these Dark Templar. It looks like he's now taking his secondary. He's going to be able to delay that expansion for a while, but he's not going to be able to essentially win the game with these Dark Templar, which is really what he was counting on. The other trick is will this proxy tech be able to break through? Some mines planted. It looks like one Dark Templar taken out, but looks like he was able to break through with the Dark Templar. Let's see if he can continue flooding this out and keep the pressure up, and if he can dodge enough spider mines to really make these DTs effective. Well, a mistake that LD made is he tried planting spider mines right next to his depot, so with the off chance that one could glitch through and hit the DT, but in the process, his Vulture pushed all those SCVs off the depot, which were repairing it, and pushed them off the depot, and then obviously the DT broke through because repairs had stopped. And now we can see a Vulture moving out. Looks like he's going to try to do some harassment with that one Vulture. Dragoon moving back, though, he's going to be able to block the ramp, prevent that Vulture from getting in and sniping probes. But now we can see this factory going to be forced to lift. This DT just moving ever closer and just going to keep attacking those factories, forcing LD to lift off and keep moving further back. He should be getting comp set up here pretty soon. He's going to be able to push out eventually, but geez, he's losing a lot of time making units. He's losing a lot of, obviously losing those machine shops. Gonna set him behind in tech. He's not expanding. Lin can just easily take the map and get a real economic advantage here.
Well, I guess the question is what's the follow-up here? It looks like he is going to be able to save that factory, but if he can, get some detection out, get some mobility out, take care of these Dark Templar, take care of that gateway and all that tech to the north, Lin hasn't been able to populate his secondary at all. It looks like he's just now transferring some probes to take care of that Vulture, and if he ends up losing a lot of that tech and basically all of Dragoons on the front door, I don't see... He's got one gateway in his main. He'll basically be reset. He will have a slight economic advantage, but he's not going to have much past that. Looks like we're seeing a ComSat station being built, and there's a single Dark Templar trying to hold the ramp, and honestly, I think that's Lin's best bet. Continue to produce the Dark Templar, continue to have them block that ramp as long as possible, and basically, try to win the game that way, just creating a little bit of a blockade. There's that first ComSat. That last Dark Templar out, I think he's going to end up losing a lot of this out in the field. Again, I worry about basically all of that tech to the north. I don't know if LD's going to be heads up to realize that, hey, when I was scouting the base earlier, I didn't see any tech up there. Not critically, not planting any mines outside that gateway and going after the cybernetics core first. He's also got some Vultures running out in the field, and but it looks like there are 4 Dragoons. They should be able to provide a bit of a blockade, and it looks like a robotics facility is going to be planted before that cybernetics core was taken out. A couple units going through there. Looks like the Dragoon's planting some mines to get some map control, but not able to do a lot otherwise. Now Lin, a little bit on the back foot here, lost a gateway, lost a little bit of tech here. It looks like it's up to LD to catch up economically, and this is definitely kind of an odd game right off the bat. It looks like he's floating out an engineering bay. Actually, to be clever, what I would think he should do is maybe, get a starport. Looks like he's getting a starport. Get a starport, get the dropship, and maybe even take that 6 o'clock location. I think either player, if they did that right at this stage, would end up in a pretty good position.
Yeah, we're more than likely going to be able to see the Protoss player take that 6 o'clock island first. But if the Protoss does not secure that, I would definitely say LD should secure that location himself, because obviously that would prevent, Dragoon harassment, Zealots, DTs, things like that.